Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 1st of January, so in your world it's New Year's Day. I hope you had a good holiday, everybody, and you enjoyed your time with your families and friends and etc. I just thought I should make another video, and I thought I'd start with where to start. There's such a lot of stuff going on, so much stuff happening in the world. One has to question exactly what it is that's actually going on in the world, don't they? So I thought I'd start with, first things first, Dr. John Campbell. His channel was called Dr. John Campbell, but he's just put a video out saying that he's not a doctor at all, he's a nurse, but I don't suppose that really matters, unless you're, like me, very skeptical. He's made a video saying that he wants the vaccine to be withdrawn. He thinks after all this time that it's about time they stop giving this vaccine out, and this is his video is basically put out saying that the vaccine should be stopped for obvious reasons, I would say, but he's saying that the vaccine should be stopped because of concerns to people's health. The thing is, it's all very silly. All of this whole situation to me. I mean, if you're, and it should be to you, if you're born and bred in England, it's got sort of beyond a joke. I mean, I don't know. I see a lot of you seem to you live in denial, but but the thing is, I agree with nurse Dr. John Campbell. I agree that this should be stopped for obvious reasons. Again, for obvious reasons. Here in England, I don't know what's going on in the rest of the world, and I'm not going to talk about what's going on in the rest of the world because I'm not there. You know what I mean? I'm here in England, and I can talk about what I know going on in England. But what I do know in England is we have this case, we have a situation going on where people are dying unexpectedly, and the articles that are being printed about these sudden deaths, they do raise concern with for me, and they should do for you too, because it seems everything's been blamed for this surge in sudden deaths, unexpected deaths in young people and stuff. I read an article saying that if you're shoveling snow, then you're at risk of having a heart attack. If you drink alcohol, you're at risk of having a heart attack at a young age. If you smoke, you're at risk of having a heart attack at a young age or cardiac arrest. Now, all these things have been around for a long time, shoveling snow and alcohol and smoking and so on. But we never really had this situation where people would just unexpectedly die, especially children and stuff like that. It just wasn't a thing. I mean, I know people will want for it to just be normalised and kind of like bury their head in the sand about it and hope that that the part they played in it, they just hope it's just living in denial. You know what I'm saying? And it's a concern for me as a UK citizen. You know what I mean? As a tax-paying citizen who's worked for a number of local authorities in his life, it's a concern for me. It's quite worrying. It's worrying because, like I've said before, we've had a situation in the last couple of years, and we had a lot of advice and guidance, related to that situation. We were told what to do to deal with this situation and to make it get better. To make the situation get better, we had lots of advice and guidance from our governments and the celebrities on the TV, and the same people that are now doing a U-turn on the whole vaccine rollout. They also advised, they were also there giving advice on what to do. You should remember that too. It's all very well, doing a U-turn 2 years later saying, oh, we need to stop this, but it's kind of a little bit too little too late. But that is neither here nor there. That's my own personal opinion. So this situation with the sudden death, it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, does it? It doesn't seem to be going anywhere, but you keep hearing about it and you keep reading about it, and it seems to be getting worse. And at the same time, while that's going on, you're hearing all this talk in, Parliament and elsewhere that people believe that these vaccines are causing harm to people. Now, I'm not a stupid person, and I don't, I'm not a gullible person, and I tend to try to do a bit of investigating and research myself. You see, I grew up watching things like Perry Mason and Columbo and Inspector Morse and Taggart and all this sort of stuff, because this what I grew up, my parents were into, and I just kind of grew up seeing that kind of stuff. And I don't know, maybe that made me be a little bit more of a curious sort of personality, to try and dig away and find out what I believe to be the truth. But maybe that has some influence. I don't really know. But the fact of the matter is, I don't just accept what I'm told. I tend to like to go and dig around and find out things for myself. But we kind of, it's a little bit embarrassing to think that, at a time when debate is needed, we accept this culture that if somebody says something, that doesn't go with the mainstream narrative, that we have to cancel that person and eliminate that person and destroy their TV show and publicly humiliate that person and take away all their credibility and stuff like that. And this is what's happening to people who are suggesting that after 2 years or so that this vaccine needs to stop. So what they're doing is they're cancelling these people, and it's quite pathetic, really, that this is how it's being done. You get people to push something and get as many people to go along with that, and then after 2 years do a U-turn on it, and then we just start saying, oh no, this person's just spreading misinformation, we need to cancel this person. It's just a little bit pathetic, and I just find that it's disheartening for me to think that people of Britain have actually become that docile and that that gullible that they all just go along with this stuff. So it was so the point of the video was is to answer is to try to find out like what's going on, like who's gonna, when is it gonna stop? Is it gonna stop, this vaccine? Are we gonna just keep hearing that these people are spreading misinformation whilst we have to try to wait for an answer as to why people are suddenly dying, children, things like that? Because I would have thought that it would have been common sense that if stuff was rolled out on a mass level, medication was rolled out on a mass level, and so many people, sorry, I shouldn't say that, I should just talk as it is. If there was a clinical trial being offered to people and on a mass level, and people participate in that clinical trial, and just during that clinical trial, like something begins to occur, like people start to drop dead in record numbers, I would have thought that in a sensible world where you're governed and managed by people that you can trust and put your faith in, as so many of you have, I would have thought that somebody would have stepped in and said, look, we need to stop this until we get to the bottom of it. But that doesn't seem to be the case. What seems to be the case is we seem to get a few steps forward publicly. Somebody pipes up and says, look, I think this is causing this. And then all the media people, they put on this show where they say, we need to cancel this person, he's spreading misinformation. Meanwhile, there's no answer as to why people are dying. You see what I'm saying? It just is, it's just a bit pathetic. It really is a bit pathetic. And like I say, again, I don't know if these videos will make it out onto YouTube. I put them on YouTube. I don't know whether they get very little in the way of views, because this is not the kind of video that gets promoted on YouTube, right? They're going to keep, the algorithm will always steer you to something that's going to just pass your time, not really nourish your mind or make you think anything. It's just going to entertain you while you sit there dribbling, over your phone. So I think we're in a lot of trouble here in Britain. We're in a terrible situation, as you're seeing. The government wants to open up its borders to China, even though they're saying China is riddled with COVID, and now they're saying that the data that's been hidden, China are hiding data, and that is worse than they're saying it is. And then you have the the Prime Minister of Britain, Rishi Sunak, saying that they're going to skip testing, and they're going to skip testing, and and I think you must see where this is going, right? You must see where this is going. If they're going to skip the testing from the deadly virus that came from China in the first place, and blah 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 blah. You read books and stuff. You watch films. You know where this is going. So we, you one starts to question the old, what they call them, conspiracy theorists. One has to question, like, these conspiracy theorists, because it seems like these conspiracy theorists weren't actually people that were bad and stupid or dangerous at all, were they? They seem like actually very rational, reasonable minded people, these conspiracy theorists who are advising people to think before leaping, look before leaping, you know what I mean? um so there's, like I say, there's many things to talk about, and it's being made ever more difficult to talk about because of the whole censorship thing. So we're going to go through this whole shenanigan of demonstrating, how we'll get people to speak, and then we'll publicly shut them down. It really is pathetic. It's full-blown pantomime, and it just is really frustrating and sad, and it's disheartening. And the thing is, it does urge one to turn its back on trying to help those who are like lost sheep. It does, it really does. And I can see why people have just decided to use humanity as a way for them to better their lives themselves, because it's almost like a lost cause. You know what I mean? It's very easy for humans to be distracted and to sell themselves out, which is something that's happening on a daily basis. And now you want to get them younger and start using these influential puppets to get them to focus on getting money. Don't teach them to have personal value and self-development skills, and developing their mind. Just get them to get money. You know what I mean? Get them to get money, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Self-worth doesn't matter. All this, like, it's just a shame. It's just a shame that in this country we let it all go, and it really is. It's really sad. It's just that you can see the country's just gone to pot. Is going to pot. No one really cares. I just think it's only going to be a few people that are going to try and stand and try and save the UK from this self-destructive, toxic, level of thinking that's been implemented into people. That it really is an uphill struggle. But positivity is the key, and not allowing what you're being told to affect your morale and your mission in life. And your mission in life is to become the best version of yourself, and you'll do that however you want to do that. But it all starts with truth for me. You know what I mean? It all starts with truth for me. And then once you're at where you need to be mentally, then you go do what you got to do, man. But I see a lot of you just going off and doing what you got to do without having any idea about the world you're in. You're just running around there acting like because you repeat everything you hear everywhere else, and that's another thing that humanity's done to itself to make itself self-destructive. It just used its ego to teach everybody that you become an adult at 18. Once you're an adult at 18, that's it. You're the same as all other adults. People running around saying, no, it's not that, it's this, because you heard it on the television. And it just really sad. At the same time, it's entertaining, because in fact it's not entertaining at all. It's just sad. I laugh at it because it's my way of coping and not getting angry. You know what I mean? But it really does infuriate people. It really is infuriating to think that we've turned into a country of moronic idiots, gullible idiots that believe everything we see. But anyway, positivity is the key. Like I said, we'll always look up, onwards and upwards. It's just sad to think that I never realised that I'd get to a point in my life where I have to prepare myself to turn my back on people that I just never thought we'd get. I didn't, you know what I mean? I've learned about all this, but I never thought that we'd really get there. I just thought I gave humanity more credit. I gave people more credit. I thought they were a bit more, I thought they had more to them, you know what I mean? I thought people had more to them. But as I can see, they're very easy to buy, you know what I mean? Very easy to buy them off. And what that does is it causes other people in your communities to sell you out. You know what I mean? So stay strong, people. You know, use your intuition, use your mind, use your thinking ability, use your critical thinking skills. You know what I mean? There's lots of stuff coming out in the news. There's lots of stuff that's very, very negative. You know, we have a storm coming. We're going to be in a terrible situation because of climate. You know, no one's really giving any answers to this sudden death syndrome. You've got people saying that the vaccine's dangerous and that they're trying to hide data, and then you're trying to silence the same people that are telling it. It's not a very good place to be if you are, you know, if you're not strong mentally. So just try to be strong, man. Try not to fall to fear. And, you know, if I see you on the other side, I see you on the other side. Thank you for coming to the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I shall be putting some more videos out soon.